Hi, this is me. Get real. I don't know. I wasn't saying it was recording, so sorry. I put almonds and some honey and some salt and stuff in there. I'm like, this is Sunday. I go to work. People frequently ask me was millennials consider dating a robot. People continually ask me how my weekend was during the week. But we work during the me and my daughter work during the week, and I'm also a single parent. Um, excuse me. I want to discuss a couple things. Um, three things besides the kids screaming and being crazy outside. Sometimes it's like, okay, four or five things. Okay. Sometimes it's like, man, I can't go through another holiday break or another weekend or another summer break here. The management does nothing, and the lease says that if people are disrupting your um, joy, I guess I don't remember the word, because they're excessively noisy, because they're messing with your property, all this stuff, then it's a lease violation. And I never want to call the cops. You know, people steal stuff, they enter my property. The management has done that. People they've contracted with, I've had stuff missing. I had this 2 tape recorders, I gave one away, and the other one I believe was stolen with a bunch of other stuff. Because I remember what I have, and I think I misplaced it. So if someone come in here and say, oh, she has a lot of stuff. But it's like, I'm selling that stuff now, or I'm keeping some my kids want. It's been in their lives for a long time. Certain things, like, let's just say, like, a certain stocking, like, something that's not maybe valuable. And I'm watching videos. I was watching videos this morning on California wildfires, and the guy who saved that bunny, but he scared the rabbit. And somebody had said, what if they were going to rescue their babies? Like, that was like a heart dropping, to say, what if they were going to rescue babies? You would hope that the babies were already with the rabbit, but that was like a horrible thought. Um, I tend to think that rabbit was scared out of its mind. They're like, rabbits have been running from fires for millions of years, but it's like the rabbits didn't, thousands of years ago, didn't have all of this flash flood and infrastructure from humans to deal with, so it would be lightning, fire, just run. Now it's like there's a freeway there, you got a fire on one side and a highway on the other. Like, it's more complicated for wild, and you have like ducks, birds, animals, electromagnetic frequencies, wind turbines, stuff messing with their natural abilities. You got pollution and polluted water. Like, they might have had their rabbit holes flooded out because a new factory pumped water into the earth and built up cement infrastructure, parking lots, factories. People don't think all the way through. But the fact that the rabbit was able to be picked up, but he kind of like, I've picked up my own rabbit, and it's about the same as the video. Today's the first time I watched the video. I read the article, the guy in California. But you see these people saying, and they had a montage kind of, not much information from one or two families. Like, oh my God, this is what's left of our house, but we're okay. And another lady and her kids left with nothing. Another lady said, God, I remember all the stuff that I should have grabbed, but I panicked and just left. And I watched another video on a bunch of dogs and, I don't know, cats and guinea pigs and stuff at a shelter, and they're asking for donations and volunteers because and they're asking the people to come back and play with their animals as much as they can. But I'm tired of I've lived all around the country, not all around the country. I don't move a lot, but I travel back and forth across the country, and you don't really become a local when you're traveling through or camping out for a couple of weeks. But you see a lot of people, and I wanted to say, I'm tired of people talking about how liberal Californians are. People say the same about Portland And they're like, you deserve those fires. You deserve this chaos. You deserve your, you know, why do you have sanctuary cities, you know? And when I was in the South, or near the South, or in Louisiana, or I don't know where else, Virginia, Maryland, people were more like their outside appearance was conservative. Like, and I lived in the North. I grew up in the North, and then I would visit. Also, I said Maryland, but I would also visit Ohio a lot, and we knew people, relatives rooted in that. And I've seen how people do that church thing. They got a clean Cadillac, BMW, whatever. They're going to church, all dressed up, high heels, men in suits, ties, and then when they go home, they're, and I don't have the definition of liberal. Basically, they're not as conservative as they look, or even as their job title. They're basically two-faced. There's no law against being two-faced. What I don't like about it is deceit. People might not know they're doing it, but they know when they raise a question out loud. Yeah, I really want to sneak A, B, and C so that I don't get in trouble because I don't want to pay money for this, or I don't want to get taxed on this. Like, people do stuff where they're like, you know, and a lot of my relatives back east would make comments about things I'm doing. Like, let's say I was giving my kids, I don't do it now, but I was giving my kids organic milk. And they're like, man, people are real idiots to think that they're doing any, you know, everything I did, it's like they would use these words to describe how stupid people who do that action is, or people that go to school for that reason, you know. And they can have their opinion, but it seemed like the only opinions I heard were about things that I was doing. And so I have an opinion about that two-faced, you know, going out and looking a certain way and coming back in the house and being really shady as fuck. I didn't want anything to do with it. I learned after this year and a half of separating from that, and one of my biggest issues with that was not wanting myself to pick up their habits or behaviors. And I'm not that type of person. I'm not perfect. I'm not that type of person, but I have said this more than once. When you're around toxic and abusive people, you may be an honest, loving individual, you know, tax-paying citizen. When you're around these abusers who are threatening your life and the livelihood of your family, you learn coping mechanisms, A, to keep yourself sane, and you can get yourself in a rut. Like, I was watching these Everest videos, you get stuck in a rut. And you can kind of, we have the Aikido move where your enemy's running after you, and you got a brick wall behind you. And a lot of Aikido is like physics. And they're defying physics, almost like magic. And I took classes over and over again. I hate being in poverty and not being able to even go to community clinic class, even like once in a while, once a year, you know. You don't want to do martial arts on and off. It's good to stay current with it, because basically every time I quit something, I had to restart from white belt, and it's kind of sad, and you need to kind of restart. You don't want to jump. If you're like a year, 18 months, maybe jump back in and just do a lot of practice at the open hours, your dojo. Anyways, that's my opinion. I went back after years, and then now I haven't gone back since I've been injured, and I even wanted to do Tai Chi, something more gentle. And Aikido is somewhat gentle. It's kind of intense, but you have the guy coming after you. You know, in karate and taekwondo, you're exerting a lot of energy, you're blocking, you're kicking. Aikido, you can use that guy's energy. And as they're kind of put energy to you, you step back and you grab them and you keep yanking them with their energy, their muscle power, their inertia. And they're in the wall, laying on their back. and you might need to exert a lot of energy and do a roll after, because sometimes, you know, you ever do that, like in the grocery store in a car, you like jerk and you feel like you put something out, but if you jerk and roll like in a safe way, it's like you don't want to oversteer into the ditch, right? Anyways, you learned a lot in that class. Like, hello, person out there.